So that if I look at f of x equaling log base 4, how in the world do I graph him? Well, remember, he has a relationship, and he is the inverse of y equal 4 to the x. So 4 to the x creates the y values, and log base 4 brings those y values back to this x value. So the next question is, how do you handle that? This is how you handle it. You rewrite it as 4 raised to the y power is equal to x. We write it as an exponential. And I put the x on the left-hand side. You're going to say, well, why is that? Because I can create a T-bar chart. What's your input here? What are you going to input? No, what are you going to input right here? You're going to input y values, right? And so essentially what you're going to do is, I'm going to go back to all real numbers. So you're going to put in, essentially to your T-bar chart, you're going to put in these values right here. This is actually should be a y. You're going to put in y values, and you're going to get x values. So if I put in y equal negative 2, this is 4 to the negative 2, which is 1 over 16. If I put in negative 1, this is 4 to the negative 1, which is 1 over 4. 4 to the 0 is 1. 4 to the 1 is 4. 4 to the 2 is 16. So essentially, I'm putting in y values, taking them back to x values. So it says 1 over 16 is negative 2. 1 over 4 is negative 1. 1 is 0. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 1. And now if I draw it, does he kind of look like the exponential function? See, what if I were to flip him 90 degrees? In other words, mix x and y. Does he now look like the exponential? He goes up, and what's this guy going to do? If he were the exponential, he'd be riding along the x-axis. So this guy rides along the y-axis. So does he look like the exponential function? Yeah. If I graph 4 to the x, that's his friend. If x equals 0, y equals 1. So this is y equals 4 to the x in red. If x equals 1, y equals 4. If x equals negative 1, y equals 1/4. Negative 2, 1 over 16. And he rides along the x-axis. Are those two guys mirror images of each other? By flipping x and y. So that's how you're going to handle this guy. Y equals log base 3 of x. Rewrite him, so x equals 3 to the y. So 3 to the y equals x. And then set him up in a T-bar chart. Put in y's, get out x's. This is 3 to the minus 2, which is 1 over 9. 3 to the minus 1, which is 1 over 3. 3 to the 0, which is 1. 3 to the 1, which is 3. 3 to the 2, which is 9. And he looks just like the other guy. 1/9, negative 2, 1/3, negative 1, 1, 0, 3, 1, and I go out here to 9, and it's going to be 2. Here's the dots. Now he bends in. He's going to ride down along. The y-axis does not cross over the y-axis. And see, if I were to flip him 90 degrees, that means I flip x and y. Does he look like the exponential? Sure. I'll